Hello, true believers. Time to do another vlog. I know everybody enjoyed the last vlog about brain dead, and I'm sure there's going to be more brain dead to come. I am. Everything here is a process in the Philippines, and like any process, especially here in the Philippines, it just takes time. So I will be bringing up legal issues with brain dead, and people are gonna be gonna say, "Oh, you're so mean," "Oh, you're so," and then one of the comments says, "Oh, you're just doing that because you went to prison and you're bitter," and yeah, it's natural. I guess there isn't really much to argue. Pointing out the obvious, prison changes people. It makes them, whether bitter or not, it's not a pleasant experience. But depending on the person, it's going to be something whether they're gonna become stronger. There's the path of the Batman versus the path of the Joker. Everybody knows, there's, it could make you worse or it could make you better. And I've always been any bad experience, and I've had a lot of bad experiences. Trust me. And you could be one that could save other people from those experiences. Like I said, the problem is uh, most people, to a lot of people, don't have the kind of experiences. They never, for example, they never been a minority. They never been a minority in a majority country. It's not like here in the Philippines where everything is kind of homogeneous. And then the trauma, the abuse that I've gone through. So, and then it's still ongoing. It's still a struggle. And then one of the things that crossed off my list is I've been locked up, yeah, for an extended period of time, not just a few months, not just a year, several years. Uh, I experienced being locked up abroad in a third world country, not even in the major city. Eventually I want to do a Scott Pemberton video because how my understanding of how he was locked up was he was at a camp. He wasn't in a regular population prison like me, and he had his own trailer with air conditioning, all the books, entertainment, and all the exercises you could read. As you can see, he was pretty fit. Versus in an overcrowded prison where you got, it should be only holding 30 people, but there's like over 1,000 people in one cell. So uh, the absolutely, there's no privacy in there. So when people are asking, "Oh, what about the homosexual activity? How are you supposed to have homosexual activity with 1,000 people in one room, in one small cramped room?" If you really want to do it, it'll happen. But if you're not interested in it at all, like me, then forget it. And people say, "Oh, what about that? Isn't that hard?" Of course, it's hard, but it's like going to college in America or life in America. It's like pretty sexless, also. I Everybody knows exactly what. Even in a marriage, people are in sexless marriages. So, in college, if I had to do it over again, I wouldn't pick a subject with no girls in it. So you're not going to find a lot of girls in the math and science engineering courses, but you will find them in like the mass communication, political science, the liberal arts. So if I had to do it over again, I'd probably just pick those majors. And anyway, brain dead is going to have legal problems, and he's just not, he doesn't know how to stay in his lane. You go to a foreign country as a visitor, stay in your lane. Now, pretty much karma is going to be catching up to him with between his lung cancer, his other, I don't know, it's unconfirmed, but there's also a discussion about him abusing steroids. And of course, that's going to catch up with you. There's a lot of complications with steroid abuse, but definitely lung cancer because he is a confirmed smoker. And like I said, he's gonna have. And the best part was he got trapped. He's here in the country to exploit and milk the cow for free, and he got trapped instead. So that was a funny thing. He stepped on the landmine right there. So that's karma for you. So, and like I said, he's got two big problems, legal problems. Number one is making money off the country. He even sold the book, which he's not allowed to do because he's, like I said, he's on a temporary visitor's visa. And number two was he attacked a natural born Filipino, which you're not supposed to do. You're not supposed to do publicly, and he should know better since he wrote a book. So we're going to be dealing with that. And of course, I have legal issues with the police also that they need to be dealt with. And of course, it's going to be dangerous, and you have to keep that in mind. That's one of the reasons why I we had to move Hero to a different school. So we had to keep him, and we had to change his. We had to change our routine, so to speak. So to stay one step ahead of the police over here because they will murder women and children over here. It's been documented. So they're the most dangerous criminals here in the Philippines are especially the Philippine National Police. So we're gonna be dealing with that, and so and why would you do that? Why would you put your family in danger? I see. This is where everybody is wrong. It's like I didn't put my family in danger. Okay, I didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything illegal. Just like Brain Dead, I wasn't the one who was breaking the visa laws. I am not the one attacking natural born Filipinos here. He is the one. The police are the ones that are doing these criminal activities, not me. I just happen to, my only problem is, or my only fault is, I am here in the Philippines, or I know how to manage money. It's like, oh, I don't need to steal money like they do. So I know the first thing people like to do here is like go victim blaming, just like everybody I mean, in one of the comments, somebody said that I can't even remember who, but somebody said that, oh, because of prison, I'm attacking Brain Dead. So it's nothing he did wrong. Nothing so I'm attacking Brain Dead because he went to prison. See, this is a lot of, maybe this is where a lack of experience, I think, is the problem with a lot of people because experience. It's all about experience. Even in the military, it's like if you want to have a higher rank, who has the high people with higher experiences? It's like experience matters the most. Okay. Now, for a situation like Brain Dead, he doesn't have a family. He doesn't know what it's like to have a family. So he'll attack anyone, including people's family. So when he attacked not only me, he attacked my family. For him, it's so natural because he has no experience, because he has no family. Okay. He doesn't know what it's like to have family. Now, if this was the Godfather, the people in the mafia, they know family. They know what it's like to be family. And then when you attack family, oh, it's personal. Okay. Now, when people make stupid, ignorant comments, the number one reason why is they don't have family. They don't know what it's like to be part of a family. They don't know what it's like to when your family is attacked. Because when you mess with the family, you mess with the whole enchilada, and it's personal. And then when people make comments that you can tell that they don't have that experience, it's coming out of their ignorance. Okay. So he attacked family because he has no family. And when the people say that I went to because I went to prison, that I'm attacking Brain Dead, and that's the reason, because they lack experience and they lack family. They don't know what it's like, so they make ignorant comments. The biggest sad part about people who make ignorant comments is they don't know they're making ignorant comments. But anyway, back to this video. So I am not done. I am not finished with the police. So if the police are watching this, I have a civic duty, a civil obligation to bring them to justice. And the sad part about justice here in the Philippines means you're dead. So I want to at least try to buck the trend of staying alive. So I've stayed alive this far. And I'm kind of like Beowulf. It's not. There's gonna be my time, but this is not my time. if I'm gonna die like Beowulf, or actually, Beowulf is one of the high school studies right now, or that so he's kind of there's different stories about him, but anyway, I was just making the 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 comparisons to Beowulf. If I'm gonna die by some great dragon, not by some by not some police. So if it's meant to be, if it's meant to be. But I'm put in this situation to do my civic duty, and everybody knows I have never walked away from my civic duty. I always faced all my problems and challenges head on, and I never tried to escape from it. And especially, I don't use anything like cigarettes or steroids to do it. Anyway, I to the topic up hand, I want to get to is the recognition here. Recognition. Congratulations, the student below is a recipient of the following award: Bronze Award for school year 2020 to 2021, term 3. T3 is not Terminator 3. T3 means, or T2, it means term 3. This a 3-term school year, 3 quarters. So for term 3, Hero got the Bronze Award. So congratulations, Hero. He got the Bronze Award. And over here, previous, he got one for term 2. Is over here, season or school year 2020 2021. Term 2, he got the Bronze Award also, which is like a 90 plus. So if you got like a 90 in between, like 95 and above, you get the silver. And if you got a score of like 98 and above, you get gold. So we're very happy with bronze, especially because Hero has autism. And so first thing you're probably gonna say is, well, Beb, it's only you. It's all the school is online. Even you admit it. It's like the parents going to school. It's not just me. It's like all parents. If you know anything about being a parent, you're not gonna let your kid fall. You're not gonna let your kid make mistakes. You're going to help them, and of course, it's gonna be a lot easier when they're at home. And when he's taking his quizzes or when he's taking his tests, obviously, of course, I'm gonna help him. I'm a parent. You're not you're not gonna let your kid fail. You're gonna help him succeed. Is it a lot easier when they're home online? Yes, absolutely. I'll admit that. But it's not just me, parents helping them. It's like all parents are doing that if they can. If they don't know anything about math or science or physics or chemistry, which is all subjects that I studied. And so of course, so he got the bronze award, and because of that, so I'll admit I helped him. I helped him. Did I help him a lot? I know I'm a parent. Enough said. The point I wanted to make also to respond to that is that Hero has been a bronze achiever even before lockdown, even before pandemic. And why is because I know what his weakness is. I know he's my child. So I know the subjects that when and what I do is I analyze for example, math, each step of the process, and I can tell where he makes his mistake. And I don't know if a lot of people, a lot of you know, a lot of people know, I'm actually a licensed teacher. I repeat, I'm actually a licensed card carrying teacher, licensed in America. I'm not licensed here in the Philippines or any other country, but in America, I am actually a licensed teacher. So I have a lot of experience when it comes to teaching, especially in the math and sciences. So, but just because you're a licensed teacher doesn't mean you're a good teacher. Yes, absolutely. There's a lot of bad teachers out there, and the good teachers are actually a minority. And fortunately, I'm one of those good teachers. And especially with math, I'm not like the best in math. I'm not as fast as I wish I could, which is, I'll understand math just as long as I'm given time to practice it. But if it's at a breakneck speed, it's hard for me to keep up. But if I'm given time, that's why I prefer the semester over the quarter, because quarter is just so fast. They got to cram it all in 3 quarters versus in a semester they can take their time in this. So if I ever have to pick a school, myself personally. But in this school, they go by the quarter system, and they have arguments. People say, oh. This is the argument for the quarter system or the semester system. They say, oh, if the class is really hard or it sucks, you're over in 10 weeks versus 15 weeks. My argument for that is it's going to suck no matter what. At least you have more time with the 15 weeks versus 10 weeks. But anyway, before lockdown, before online learning, before the face-to-face disappeared, Hero was getting these bronze awards, and he was taking his quizzes, his assignments, his all his tasks, assessments during regular class and school, and he was able to get at least a bronze award, a 90% above every year until I went to prison. The 2 years that I didn't go to that I went to prison, those 2 years he didn't achieve bronze, but at least the boss did her best to find a tutor and everything like that. But like most tutors, unless they know the kid they know his weaknesses, and it's he's not gonna be able to learn it to the point where he's gonna be an achiever like this. So the point I'm making here is that he needs personalized instruction because of his autism. And I actually did that while I was a licensed teacher. I did personal tutoring and I actually got, that was one of my many jobs. Was I, even though I wasn't teaching that much, I still got contracted for individuals because they knew that I had special skills with kids with math. I for I'm pretty good up until trigonometry. Uh, Geometry is actually my specialty, and I'll give you an example for this one kid. He was having so much problem in math, like the parents almost gave up on him. And then they found out about me, and they asked me, can you, and I go, I don't do that anymore. I'm pretty busy with my other practice, but for this person, I said, okay, I'll take time. I even helped. I also helped out a couple of nurses get through their English as a second language test, because even though they knew the what's the word I'm looking for? Even I'm having problems with words. Even though they knew the content, they just didn't know how to apply it during the test. And one of the at the time when I was helping them with, because I was a licensed teacher, I actually helped other people with their ESL exam. There were some nurses that couldn't get their licensing exam, or they couldn't get their nurses exam because they needed to pass the ESL test. And one of the ESL tests is pretty funny, is they give you a picture and then they ask a bunch of questions on it. And I always told them, don't make anything up. The answer is very easy because they show you in the picture. And at the time when the ESL was done on the phone, and on a computer. So what you do is they'll call you up, the proctor, or they'll record, or they'll ask you questions. I forgot how it was. It was such a long time ago. Anyway, they'll ask you to describe what's going on in the picture. And I remember one of the examples was that there was this picture and you had to describe it. And I told them, don't make anything up. Everything is in there. So one of the things was say something about the picture and support it. And it was a picture of somebody washing their car and the sun was out. And you could say, the weather is hot. And then they'll ask, oh, why is the weather hot? Because the sun is shining and he's sweating. So done right there. So it was like a comprehensive, not only do you need to know the language, do you know how to apply the language is what was important in the ESL. And I helped several nurses pass the test because they found out that I am good also with helping people get over the test. It's not only when it comes to tests, not only you have to know the material, but you also have to know the spirit or the person you have to also get in the mind of the person, because you can get it right, but still can completely get it wrong because you don't know what the person is thinking. I remember there was this one professor, gosh, she would make these true or false I remember there were like 10 questions and they were being the true or false format. I remember running through it, and the first thing I would, it was first initially answering it. And I learned my lesson the second time because I got it all wrong. So when I would go back and go back and turn all the false true and all the true false, and I would usually get 10 out of 10, because she would do these Jedi mind tricks. And once I figure out the Jedi mind trick, then, but I needed to learn it first the first time. So what I do is I relay my experiences, my bad experiences, to other people. Just like my bad experiences here, I've had a lot of bad experiences here, and for the right people, I'll relay them to you so you don't go through the same thing. Because when you make a mistake here in the Philippines, not only does it cost you money, that only must cost you time, but it also causes you emotional stress, or it's going to cause you emotional, it's going to cost you a lot of emotional damage. So it's going to cause financial damage, it's going to cause a lot of time damage, it's going to cause a lot of emotional damage. Same thing with a lot of people who come here to the Philippines thinking they know it all, or they're going to write a book about it, only to get trapped. Okay, never get married because of someone getting pregnant. Okay, and because it's a trap. You don't want to get married to somebody that's going to need to trap you, because it sets a very bad precedent for a marriage, that you're only got married because you got trapped by a baby. And 100% of those marriages that get trapped by a baby because they got married because they got pregnant always end up badly. Same thing with Brain Dead. He got married because obviously he would never get married if he didn't get trapped with a baby, if she didn't get knocked up. Because before the free cow milking for free, he wouldn't get married to her because she wasn't knocked up. So he was milking another cow for free. So she got too old, he kicked her out. And then there's a new one, and she said, "Hey, you're not going to milk this cow for free. I've got the answer here. You're trapped with a baby." So it's a nasty war of attrition now. But anyway, so back to to add insult to injury, it's a girl. What the hell do you do with a girl? Play with dolls? Versus, I would rather play sports, basketball, football, things that us men enjoy, sports. But anyway, so I wanted to go back to this kid. I remember him, and he was bright, but I knew he had potential. But the parents came up to me and said, he's failing math. He's so good at every subject, but math, he's got a problem." So I analyzed him. I took a step by step analysis of how he would tackle a problem. And I knew right away what was his biggest problem was. He couldn't do basic computation in his head. He couldn't do basic addition, multiplication in his head. You need to, when you're doing math, you need to be able to, because every step always has some kind of addition or subtraction or multiplication or division step to it. And if you can't do simple math in your head, you're going to be lost, because the instructors usually will do that in their head as they're going through the formulas. And if you're stuck and you can't come up with 6 times 7 is 42, or if you come up with 36 or 41 or 40 instead of 42, you're already, the process is already messed up. So what I did was I did some flashcards with him. We practiced it for a week and did basic. We played cards. I was playing poker with him so he can get the basic addition, basic subtraction down. So that way it would be fun for him. So after that, this kid took off. He got like 90s, 100% afterwards. And I told the parents that was just it. They were so thankful for me. They were, and for me, they were like, this is what ends up. They end up showering with me gifts, and I said, no. As a teacher, we just want the best reward, or the best gift is for you to, for the student to be able to surpass the teacher. So is my what was what I told them, and they were very happy. So that's another thing making a difference in people's lives, because I know what it's like to fall behind in math also. So for him specifically, For Hero, his problem was he needs repetition. He needs familiarity. He needs to be familiar. And not only do we do it that day, but we need to do it the following week. We need to do it the following month. And that takes a lot of patience and love. And there's no way you can get that from a tutor. You need someone like me who's going to be patient, who's going to analyze and each individual has their specific needs because every student is different. So those are one of the things. I had like many jobs. I had many licenses, and one of them was my license. I was a licensed teacher, and I helped. So I couldn't teach full time, obviously, but I could. Like I said, I was asked for special cases. I would do these, or I would assess somebody, find out what their problem is, and get them through the test. And I helped a lot of ESL nurses get through that. They found out that I just did one. I just helped one. I said, I know something about ESL, and they couldn't. They had problems passing it. But they found out. I gave her a couple of sessions how to get through it. What is the mindset? What is it they actually want? You have to get in the mind of the person who was making these exams. The funny thing is I also did the same thing while I was in prison. You take this test so you could pass uh, the not high school. They also had high school tests and elementary school tests. So most of the people in prison didn't finish elementary school, didn't even finish high school because of financial reasons. So they had to make this test. So everybody in my cell uh, who didn't, who all of a sudden now has a high school and elementary school equivalency certification. So that's it's kind of the same thing in America. What is this? The high school equivalency thing. So same thing. Found out. Everybody in my cell passed their elementary school and high school certification. So it was one of the things I did was pass the time. It's basically it was something made. I can tell it was American. It was an American or a Western based exam. A lot of it is there was math, there was comprehension. You read a story, they ask a bunch of questions on it, and some of it's pretty easy. Some of it was kind of vague. And since I'm an expert when it comes to multiple choice exams, because I'm an expert because I have so much experience, it comes down to it usually comes down to two answers. And the answer, there's always going to be, you can make arguments for both, but the one that you can make the argument, well, if I was the teacher, which is the answer that I want? Which one is the more politically correct answer? Which is the most, usually it comes down to that. So everybody passed so something, that's one of the things I did other than read books. But anyway, I wanted to say congratulations to Hero to confirm that it's in life. It's like you have to have this balance. It's like in Karate Kid, you have to have a balance of sports. You have to extracurricular activities, academics to be a well-rounded student or an individual. So the important thing is I don't want to spend all this time in sports every day and then his math or his school is falling apart. I want to show people that not only do we spend both a lot of time in his football and a lot of now, and also I want to show that he is also keeping his grades up. We spend a lot of time on that because both are important. I want him to develop his mind as well as his body for sports to be balanced. Finding a balance is always difficult, but as you can see, the results is we're able to find that balance. I One of the things that we had to cut out was the social aspect. We there He actually went on a group date and he didn't like it. He didn't enjoy it. He said it was uncomfortable. And I said, don't worry about that. Those are the things we're going to have to give up. It's like I told him football is your girlfriend right now because you don't want to end up like Jesse Lingard of Manchester United. His girlfriend basically ruined his football career. So he knows even Cristiano Ronaldo would never get married. So, but he has a family, but he has the money to do that. It's quite he's quite intelligent. It's like I always said that the only reason to get married is for kids. But if you have the money, you can have a family without actually getting married. And he was able to genetically reproduce them. I'm not sure what the details are, but Cristiano Ronaldo has like several children without ever getting married because he has plenty of money and he could do it. And he's Cristiano Ronaldo versus the rest of us, we actually need a wife and a mother, and probably that's preferred, and because all mothers love their children, except when there's not a good father. If there's no father, it's a single mother, then they end up putting them in microwaves, or like that one lady from Florida ended up putting her child in the trunk while she attended a party that she could post on Facebook. And then I think she was found innocent because she said she was abused and she was and that's kind of like how the Menendez brothers was actually, I don't know, I can't remember what their that was their defense. They killed their parents because they said they were abused, and I don't know if they still got convicted or not. But I remember that's usually what the defense is in America. It's like, oh, you can kill somebody just as long as you say that you were abused or sexually abused. But in the case of that girl in Florida that put her baby in a trunk, she said she was sexually abused. But anyway, the point I'm saying is that a person to be well rounded, you have to have, for a mother to be a good mother, she has to have a good man and a good father to be a good father to their baby. And since me, I never had a father, I I wanted to make sure that that didn't happen to my babies. But the unfortunate thing was they experienced it for 2.5 years while I was in prison. What it was like not to have. But I'm here now, so all my decisions in my life at least has led up to this. I've A lot of things have failed in my life, but when it comes to the kids, there's just as long as Hero's scoring goals and he's getting bronze achiever awards, my failures. Uh, I'm not such a big failure after all. So, like I said, congratulations. Oh, and then here's, if anybody's wondering, the student enrollment for the 2021 payment status. Here it is. It's we had to do a 10. It's the actual cost of it is 108,000 around there, because we paid, and over here we just paid 98 because it we had to have a $10,000 deposit to reserve the space. And what's funny is this school year or the last school year, usually everybody pays their reservation, but because it's all online and because of the pandemic, all there was a lot of spaces. So whether you reserved or not, it wasn't really that important. Anyway, the important thing is that he's fully paid. The payment is approved, as you could see. And it's actually the actual total tuition, I think, is 130,000 pesos. But because of the pandemic and there's actually no school, they don't need to, the staff, the maintenance of the school, because it's closed, schools are closed, then they gave it like a 30%, almost like a 30% discount or 20% discount, which is kind of, I don't know, you can make arguments for both. Whether, why should you pay that much? You should just go to a cheaper school since it's online, and then when it's back to face, then you could just go to a more expensive school. Yeah, but we didn't want to do that with Hero. It's just kind of a more of a hassle, and we wanted the continuity. So we went ahead and stayed with the school. But this is the cost of going to school here in the Philippines. So 108,000 pesos, payment approved. So we're okay for this school year. So done. So we're okay for now. But for anybody who wants to make a contribution, I'll put some information on the description for how, if you want to contribute to Hero's tuition or his football fund, especially because the police stole his money. Well, we're okay for now, but in the future, I would like to be begging for help. It's like, oh, well, Bebo told me you shouldn't be begging. Yeah, normally I wouldn't, but because of what happened, I feel like I have I don't want to say I have the right, but I have. But when it comes to the kids, I'm not too proud to beg. I'll beg for his football shoes, his football training, and his tuition because I've got no pride. So, so like I said, congratulations to Hero for, as you could see, as a parent, this is the ultimate reward or the ultimate justification. And a lot of people, I seem to attract people that have no idea what it's like being being a parent or a good parent, and making sure that their kids when it comes to the health and the mental stability of a child, it always starts home. And if they're doing good in school, and of course there's going to be some strong kids, even though they come from broken homes, they're still going to be successful, they're still going to finish college like me. The only thing was I didn't have the support to be able to do sports, but at least I can control what my grades are going to be, and I used that. I used the I focused on what I could control, which was school, and so that way I wouldn't be so upset about what I couldn't control. And right now, what I can control also is, like I said, the police. Over here, it's pretty much I have the paperwork. They have my credit cards that when it was being used. I have the paperwork. I have the collection agencies after me now because of their credit card. So I have all the evidence I need to put the police away in jail. And also I have all the evidence also I need to put Brain Dead with them also at the same time. So I had, like I said, I have a lot of unfinished first because I don't want to file because they still have my stuff. I still have need to get a court order from that search warrant and from my entrapment. So I want to be able to get my stuff out, out of them first before I file a case against them. So at least I have a chance. So I kind of want to so I want to have a chance of getting all my stuff back, all my memories back, all my hard drives back. And if I ever get them back, if I do, if then if it's meant to be, I'll re-upload them so people, so especially the new people can see what kind of history that I've had. And especially what's good about this is let's always look at the silver lining out of any situation is at least I'm able to prove to everybody that I am not doing anything illegal. I went through court. It wasn't a technicality. If you consider a person being a virgin a technicality, then so be it. But like I said, we're not doing anything illegal. There's nothing wrong with eating in Jollibee. There's nothing wrong with making new friends over here. And I want. There was also there's gonna be an interesting case study. So I wanted to go through legal cases since I have firsthand personal experience with them now. I have my own legal case. I have my own documentation already. So this is something that you people should be interested in because this is something that people affect you, the laws, and how to make sure that you're not breaking the laws. So it's not only one judge, not only two judges, but three judges found out, or I mean, they did find out, or they did say that as the judge, you're not the judge, that I'm not breaking any laws, but you're gonna have to be mindful of that, and these are the kind of experiences that I can share so you don't go through the same thing. But then there's some people like Brain Dead that know that they know the law, or maybe they don't know the law, that they should be go breaking it. Well, then they need to be punished and they need to learn so they don't break the law, and so other people like him don't break the law also. So stay in your lane. And when you step out of your lane, when you get out of your lane, then there are going to be repercussions. There are going to be consequences for being out of your lane. And then there are going to be some people, I think John Doe said in the comments, why don't I attack this other person? Because I have this policy. I don't fire unless fired upon. Okay. So Brain Dead, he crossed that line. He is the one who attacked my family. He is the one who made that video about me on his channel. And then now he doesn't want to, if he wants to do the right thing, it's like he is supposed to make this apology on his channel, not on a small channel. He is the one, if he's really sorry. The fact that he's not, Then but we still have our legal issues, so I'll probably group them together. So when I'm at the NBI office, usually if you have the police, the PNP and the NBI have this kind of hate relationship with each other, and they would love this case about corrupt police, especially something like this that's a slam dunk. And while I'm at it, I'll go to their Bureau of Immigration office and their cybercrime office and go ahead and report brain dead while I'm at it. It's not a threat. I don't do threats. While I'm there, I'm gonna make it a 2-for-1 offer. So if brain dead, or if any of these brain dead cult followers are listening, so after I go to the NBI office, report the police for the other stuff, using minors in an entrapment, endangering minors, that's kind of hard to do because there's a certain thing, they could say that it's kind of, I'm not the police. So, why? I remember during the cross examination, oh, why? Yeah, why didn't you arrest them right away? Oh, because the girls are not in danger yet. So we had to wait until they were in danger. That was the. It's kind of like a judgment call. But it's like, well, when you're dealing with minors, why would you make that kind of judgment call? So it falls in this gray area. So, but the fact that at least when it's black and white is when the police are using your credit cards or using your vehicle for their own personal use, stealing money. That's black and white. I have the credit. I showed you I have the credit card statements. I also showed you that they had custody of my credit cards. Oops. And it's pretty much black and white. And could you link that together with, they entrapped me so they could steal money? And that's kind of, it's not black and white. One, you can make the argument. If I was their lawyer, I would make the argument that, like, well, it's kind of opportunistic. They didn't. You could make the argument. You could easily make the argument they didn't know what if I was holding credit cards or not. So one of them, to link I could make the argument that when Paras came to me in the middle of the night in prison to threaten me and my family, to say, okay, I'm going to murder and kill your wife and children if you don't give me any money, then it's kind of, I have documentation of that, but our conversation is going to be my word against his word. Versus the credit cards, it's pretty, here's the numbers, they use it, it's pretty black and white. Connecting the entrapment, the setting me up, the instigation, so they can use it. So they, for credit cards, it's like they can make the argument, how did they know that they were going to have credit, that he was going to have credit cards? And then, well, what about extortion, blackmail? I could link that, but that's kind of not as black and white as the credit cards. So linking them both, one is too much. The argument you could say is, it's in court of law. It's like, what can you prove? What can you not prove? Yes, it makes sense that they did this so they could steal money, but they didn't, that was one is more opportunistic. Oh, now that we have the credit cards, we're cybercrime police, we'll just use the credit cards for our own personal use. And besides, this guy is going to be seeing 40 years in jail anyway. What's going to, and also even not even 40 years. It's like, we won't, it's going to be several years before he gets out anyway, because he's got no bail. So we're going to use his credit cards in the meantime and his car. Right or wrong, that's not the issue over here. I always said there's no right or wrong here in the Philippines, just the consequences of their actions. The consequences of using the credit cards is good, because having an unlimited credit card without having to pay for it, for them, the consequences are good, because what the negative consequences they don't even care about. They just care about the now. And that's another thing you have to, that's what the biggest problem here that you have to navigate when it comes to the Filipino culture, why they do the things they do. It makes perfectly sense to the people here, to me, but obviously it will make sense to you, and that's where the problem comes in. And that's, you don't want to end up like brain dead or the other people over here. Oh, we don't want to end up like you also. Well, it's gonna be, if you're gonna engage here in the Philippines. But what do you want to end up with? Do you want to end up like Joy and Christian? Is probably what you want to say. I'm capable of doing that also. But anyway, I don't want to get into that. That's a whole another live stream in itself. What my skills are, I have a special set of skills, and one of the things you learned is I'm a great teacher. Not only am I a great teacher, I'm also a licensed teacher. So, like I said, I was like a Jamaican. I have like 10 jobs, man, over there when I was in America. And that was the money that I used, that I made while I was a citizen of America. So while I was a citizen of America, that's where I made my money, and then I'm a citizen here in the Philippines also. But making money over here in the Philippines is, as you could see, is a challenge. But anyway, that's why I made sure I made all the money I needed while I was in America, which is a lot easier. And as you could see, that's why Brain Dead can keep continuing breaking the law. You're not supposed to be making money. The rule is you're supposed to spend money here in the Philippines as a temporary visa visitor. You're not supposed to be making money. You make money somewhere else as a visa visitor. That's not only with the Philippines, but every country. You make money in your own country where you're a legal resident of, and then you bring it here, and you spend it and you enjoy it and you stimulate the local economy over here. You don't sit here and you sell books and exploit the people and make money off of them. Is the law of the visa. So if you overstep your boundaries, then you're supposed to pay the price. So if that's the case, then what makes a lot of people especially jealous about me is because of my dual citizenship status. So I can do a lot of things that a citizen can do here. If I want to sell products, I can sell products. If I want to meet girls in Jollibee, I'll meet girls in Jollibee. As you can see, there's nothing illegal about it. Anyway, let me know what your thoughts are in the comments. Like I said, that I have no choice. I have to bring these people to justice. Everybody knows Justice is my middle name, and the only thing important is that I need to stay alive, because justice here in the Philippines equals death. So I like to think that I am, like I said, compared to Beowulf over here, that it's not my time yet. But if it is my time, and it's, I don't want to be a martyr. Nobody wants to be a martyr. Nobody wants to be the Joan of Arc. But if I die, then I die. I just leave it up to the forces beyond my control to take care of my family if something happens to me. But like I said, this kind of thing, this kind of justice can't, this kind of criminal activity of the police, of people, of Brain Dead and people like Brain Dead, just I have to do my civic duty and just can't go on without them. They can't just keep doing whatever they want to do and hurt people and break the laws and not have any. And like I said, I didn't break the laws. Okay, I didn't break any law. So, but you can't say the same thing about the police or Brain Dead or people like the police and Brain Dead. So it's time to bring them to justice. And the things I'm going to be asking in the future is, if you want Brain Dead to be brought to justice, is I'm going to be needing help. Over here in the Philippines or anywhere, all you need to do is you need, if you want anything to happen, if you want justice, you're going to need, number one, you're going to need resources, money, time, and knowledge, or have the ability to find the knowledge. Okay, just like I have the ability to kind of find out, even though it was difficult in prison and I had to stumble my way through it, to go through the legal system to win, to stay alive. So I have a lot of new experiences now that I could share. Now I have to bring these people to justice, and justice, those justice, like with anything you want done, anything can be done, just as long as you have the money, just as long as you have the time, and as long as you have the knowledge, or have the ability to acquire knowledge. If you don't have the knowledge, so that's what makes me so special, and one of my skills is because I went through a long process of educating. I always said that it's not what you're learning, it's the process of learning, which is a lot of which is, people like Brain Dead and his cult followers don't know what that it's like. They never. I assume they probably never had a formal education. And even if the knowledge is right there, they're not going to be able to use it or apply it. And that's always been my gift, is I can seek knowledge. I know how to learn knowledge. And the second important thing is, do you know how to apply it? So I've got so whatever it is that I need to find out, I'll find out, and then I'll apply it. And if we bring him brain dead to justice, so he'll be deported for his actions, not mine. Because there's other vloggers. Let's take for example the Beaner. The Beaner stayed in his lane. He stayed out of my business. He stayed, not only did he stay out of business, he didn't go after my family. Brain dead, we couldn't do the same thing. Something inside, there's something in brain dead's, because maybe he lacks the formal education, he lacks the discipline that kept him. For some reason, the Beaner, who doesn't have any formal education, was able to stop himself. But with brain dead, not only did he attack me, a natural born citizen, but he also crossed the line by, like, you know what, let's just fly through this line and go after his family also, go after the privacy of his family also. Okay, and then people are going to blame me for that. It's like, oh, that's so terrible. It's like, why would you want to separate? How was it like when you were separated from your family? Well, now it's like, he needs to know that also. So this is for him. So he'll develop that part of his brain that will prevent him from doing something very stupid. The Beaner has it, but brain dead doesn't have it, and his cult followers. And the reason why he doesn't, I'm actually doing him a favor by doing this, by deporting him, by blacklisting him, by separating from him from his family. Then he won't do it, and he won't do it again to anybody else. Because if it does, this is how children are. If you don't give them negative reinforcement, they'll do it again. For people like brain dead, and you can make the argument that he's got family now, so he won't do it again. Well, too late for that. Too little, too late for that. And I'm giving. He's had his opportunity. I told him, let's say for starters, let's do a live stream. Let's do your public apology. And I wanted to do. Let me address. How come I didn't go after him in my stream when he came on? I guess so. When I went through it, if I had to listen to it over here, I haven't listened to it. It's kind of too long, even too long for me. It puts me to sleep. Is that one? It was like already after I've been doing 7 hours, so I wasn't really. And number two, I haven't really gotten I haven't seen like what people's videos were about me. I wasn't in that state of mind yet. I was too busy catching up with family. I didn't want to be filled up with rage yet. So at that time, that was several months ago, I was in the mode of catching up with family. I did a 7-hour stream, and I wasn't even going to take his call. I wasn't even going to accept him. I was like, I already did 8 hours. How am I going to and I haven't seen anybody's videos yet. I was reserving it for a time. I wanted to go into it fresh, and I wanted to have a natural reaction to the attack videos that were made about me in prison. Of course, nobody's making any videos or discussions about me now that I'm out of prison. It's like, these are the typical cult follower cowards, like I showed you guys in the videos. It's like when somebody's down, these are the guys that come out and kick you when you're down. Okay, but when you get up, they all run away. So this is kind of like the brain dead cult followers. I mean, in their defense, this is part of life. You're gonna have people that when you're down, that they're gonna kick you, and when you get up and get out of prison, they all run away. Okay, like brain dead and his cult followers. Okay, now that I'm out of prison, where's your videos? Okay, now your apology. Okay, where's your apology on your channel? Because it's just simple. You attack me on your channel, you're supposed to do an apology, and we'll do a stream. It was that was my second part. That was my third reason. So number one was I was already doing it. I've been live streaming for 8 hours. Number two, I haven't seen his videos yet. And number three, I wanted to set this up. This was the reason why I was cordial with him, was I wanted to set this up because I wanted to do one in his channel. So I didn't want him to give him any reason. Probably now he has too many reasons now that he would never have me on his channel. But I wanted to do it in a proper forum on his channel. So that way, if I was cordial to him, maybe he will set this up on his channel. And then I could properly address it. I'll be civil about it. Okay, what about this? What about that? you broke the law. What about Sissy? You caused his divorce. You made him leave the country. It's like, now it's your turn to leave the country now. It's only fair. These are your actions. You have to accept the consequences of your actions. If you're not, if you're running away from them, just like smoking cigarettes, instead of facing the problem, you'll just rather go for your nicotine. Then these are the consequences of that. Okay, you can't run away from your actions. If I have to be the person to bring that, then so be it. But I'm gonna need help. And like I said, I can find the money, I can find the knowledge part, and I could eke out the time. But the money part, as you can see, it's been stolen from me, and it's gonna take time. I mean, I've already had two people making contributions, Quincy and Jim Bob, but it's going to take more because the challenges are going to be up ahead. And it's not just about me. It's not just for me. It's for everybody that stands for justice, for truth and fairness, and following the law, which I am. And like I said, when I'm doing this, what about this human trafficking and all that? Look, I'll do a whole subject on human trafficking. Just to give you a preview of it. You don't need to do human trafficking here in the village. You know why? Even Brain Dead knows this. Is you don't have to spend time here in the Philippines. You don't need to do human. Why? Because the people here sell themselves. Period. You don't need to sell them. They'll sell themselves to you. They'll sell their daughters to you. Everybody knows that. You don't need to do human trafficking in here. You don't need to sell them because they sell themselves. I just say, here she is. It's like, okay, hey, let me sell myself to you. Yeah, go ahead. I can't stop that because they need money. Okay. This is, what is it? Western money meets third world poverty. Okay. This is what happens. And it's so simple. I mean, I'll show you, the court documentation. Here's human trafficking. Very simple. Okay. I'll give you it, and I'll finish this off. Okay. Human trafficking is very simple. You go to someone and you say, hey, find me a girl to have sex with, a prostitute, and here's the money. Okay. And then I provide the girl for and then he gives me the money. Done. I go to jail for 40 years for human trafficking. That's not what I do. Okay. I meet people and I say, and I feed them. We go shopping. We have a good time. And they like you. They really like you. You know why? Because you're somebody that they can trust. They can see somebody that they can depend on. Okay, and they love that. Because it's not something you see here in the Philippines. People say what they say, but they don't follow up. They don't do what they say. And then when they find somebody that does, they really love that person. They value that person more than anything, because I'm the only person that they know here in the village. I'm actually the only person that you could trust here in the Philippines. When I was in prison, I'm not the only person you can trust here in prison. I'm the only person you can trust here in the whole entire country. And how valuable is that? Nobody else can say that about me. I mean, except me. So what naturally is going to happen is they want me, and they want more people like me. And then when I introduce them to a friend, I go, here's a friend. They want them to be exactly like me. Okay. And then what you're going to do is you're going to be grandfathered into the relationship that I already had with them. And they're going to treat you the same way they're going to treat me. They're going to have feelings for you the same way they're going to have feelings for me. We'll take Joy as an example. Okay. Because she knows I'm married. I can't be the one for her. But I have a friend over here, Christian, and she goes, oh, okay, what I can't have, you need a single guy, you need a bachelor. That's not in a bachelor course. That's willing to be a bachelor forever. Here, I'll tell you how to be. Here's the bachelor course on a nutshell, so you don't end up like Brain Dead. Get a vasectomy. Okay, so you'll be a bachelor forever. You don't need to take a bachelor course for that. You can be a confirmed bachelor, but if you don't get a vasectomy, you're gonna get trapped like Brain Dead, and then you're not going to be a bachelor anymore, and there goes your bachelor course. And the money you should get your refund back because you're not a bachelor anymore. So the point I'm saying over here is that so the process is very basic. Process is very simple, but it is still a process. It takes time, and it has to be conformed to the individual, whoever it is. And and if you're dealing with an ugly pirate, then you don't need those things. But when you're dealing with a dalaga, For example, a virgin, a documented virgin, since that's what I deal with, is like, I don't like prostitutes, okay? But for Americans, for Westerners, Australians, they could be prostitutes. They don't even have to be women. They could be men. They're fine with it, okay? But there's gonna be like 4 or 5 of you out there. I can actually literally count it in one hand, and I'm being generous, but two hands, that don't want a prostitute, that don't want a bar girl. I know there's around 5 to 10 of you out there, and that's who I'm talking to. Everybody else, they want prostitutes, okay? But there's gonna be like 5 of you out there. That's who I'm talking to, that don't want a prostitute, because you can't make a wife out of a prostitute or out of a bar girl. And it becomes more harder now because of the internet. The bar girl has now become a cam girl. So every girl that has the internet now and they need money, what are they gonna do to make money? With they got the internet, and they become bar girls are now the new cam girls. I mean, cam girls are the new bar girls, okay? And it becomes it's like a double-edged sword. The internet makes it easy for me to meet people, to network with people. I use it as a tool, but it also makes it challenging now that before a girl needed to be able to go, needed to be able to go to a bar, and that's harder to do, to become a bar girl, and so they can meet some old white guy and trap them for money. Hey, if the shoe fits, I'm brain dead. But now you don't need a bar. You just need the internet, and now you could be a cam girl, okay? And then that's where it's like, well, how do you know how old she is? You don't know how old she is. And if you come here and you were talking to this girl, and she was a cam girl for you, and she'll say, and she's underage, then you're gonna go to prison forever for child trafficking online or for cybercrime. So that's the dangerous thing. And then what about me? What about it's like, I didn't do any cybercrime. As you can see, I didn't rape her. Here's a virgin. Okay. So of course people want to hear rape. People want to hear human trafficking. People want drama. Okay. And that's probably where people are upset at me, because I'm not providing those kind of things. When they say, what? He wasn't raping her. He wasn't having sex with her because she was a virgin. No, I don't. It's like I've had enough sex in my life that's not my primary objective. Okay, because sex is just a symptom. Okay, the what I want. Okay, if I just want sex. Okay, I can't. I'm at that age where I can't get it up anymore with a prostitute. I don't. It's like when it's just it just won't get up and go. It's you can give me the maybe if she was like Vanessa Hudgens, maybe I'll get up and go. But I know she's not a prostitute. But anyway, if you give me like a prostitute, I've like I've had so many already, and I get nothing out of it, and I'm at that age where I need intimacy. I know when you're younger, you don't need intimacy. But as I get older, and that's what I need. If I'm gonna take it to the next level with a girl or with a friend, I need somebody that I can make a connection with. And the good news is this connection that I make, whether I do anything physical with them or not, that's not really the point here. That's what you want to do, is you want to be grandfathered into my friends, and okay, here's my friends, and that's not only the right way, but here's the legal way. And whatever you do with her, like Christian and Joy, it's up to two consenting parties now. And of course, naturally people are going to hate this, because only 5 or 10 people that actually don't want prostitutes are going to be happy about it. Everybody that wants, it's like, not, hey, if a prostitute is good enough for me, then a prostitute is good enough for you. Like, if Brain Dead says, hey, if a girl from a bar is good enough for me, then I want a girl from a bar that is good enough for you. I don't want you getting somebody before they go to the bar. Okay, that's what of course, it's natural. It's not only for Brain Dead, but it's a normal human reaction. They don't want you getting better than them. Everybody hates Christian because he actually got a girl that he didn't get from a bar, and the problem, and he couldn't have never done that on his own. But if you do it on your own, just like Brain Dead, you're gonna have to get a girl from a bar, because of the cultural differences, and you really need somebody to know the culture, that has lived it, that was born into it, that grew up into it, and that's probably why I'm here for those 5 to 10 people that actually don't want to a prostitute for a wife, or a girl from a bar trapping you in a marriage. If the shoe fits, brain dead. Anyway, back to what I was saying. Congratulations, Hero. As you can see, as a parent, I'm doing my part. It's still up to them to learn, and like I said, it's like the yes, it has online learning has a lot of its challenges because a lot of it is being done by the parent, but because of technology, it makes learning a lot easier. And here is the proof of it. And once football starts, he'll be scoring goals like the videos that I showed. I and I actually have more videos. It's just looking for it is the hard part, carving out the time. But anyway, this video has gone long enough. So congratulations, Hero. And on not only in his, not only does he excel in football, he's getting the extra training. We're paying when it comes to our kids. As you can see, everybody knows. Everyone can see where our money is going to is our kids. Hero's football. Talk about $100 a week, and his tuition, which is almost like $3,000 a year. Anyway, and then of course justice and for the corrupt and the criminals that are breaking the laws and throwing people, innocent people like me and my family, under the bus, like what the police and Brain Dead did. Anyway, this is Bev's Only. Let me know if, what you think. Let me know in the comments whether you agree or disagree. So there you go. I for that person who was asking why I didn't attack Brain Dead at that time. Number one, I was after an 8-hour live stream. Number two, I haven't immersed myself into the attack videos about me at that time yet. Number three, I wanted to set it up so he could, the next step would be, okay, let's do a chat in his channel. And if it was like my thinking at the time was, if it was such a terrible experience, he wouldn't do it. But now that's out of the that's already the barnyard, the horses are already out of the barnyard. There's no way he's ever going to have me or apologize on his channel. And the only thing we have left to do is we have to report him to cybercrime for attacking not only me. I guess if he just attacked me, but he attacked my family also, because like I said, he doesn't have any experience and he doesn't have family. So he wouldn't know. So for him, it's okay to attack other people's family. But still, it's still not right, and especially not right if you're just a temporary visa holder here in the Philippines. Okay, anyway, this has gone long enough. Let me know if you agree, disagree. I'll see you guys in the next video. This is Bev What's Only. Thanks for watching.